All right, guys, welcome. Look, I want to do a one-on-one talk to the agents in the Dubai market, okay? The advisors, the agents, the ones who've come to Dubai with dreams of making it big, of not just dreams of making it big for their own selves, but also with the responsibility sometimes of their families, right? Some of them have parents, brothers, sisters, wives, children. Some of them have all these with them over here. Some of them have them back home because Dubai, a lot of the agents, I think predominantly still, maybe about 90% are still expats, okay? Which means they've come from somewhere else. I personally was born and raised over here, so a large majority of my immediate family is still based in Dubai. But a lot of the other agents, they come over here looking for a job. Some of them now, especially with the Dubai market being 23 years or 20 years in the making, have actually come to work in real estate. Not always the case before. So I wanted to actually share a word with you guys. I haven't been through the journey of starting out as an agent, haven't been through the journey of, looking for my next deal. I wanted to give you a little positive boost and tell you to guys, please, agents, put your trust in Allah. Put your trust in God. Relax. Don't worry. Okay? And before I start talking in a way where I say, put your trust in God, put your trust in Allah, obviously I've got a certain disclaimer, okay? I'm going to be speaking from my personal experience, okay? I am no religious scholar by any means. And I am not a perfect person by any means, okay? I've got tons of flaws. If you want to know how bad a person sometimes I can be, just speak to my wife. She will tell you, okay, that you are so rude. You sometimes are so tough. And on she shall go with you, okay? She'll explain everything and tell you how bad things can sometimes be. And also, anything correct that I tell you and share with you is guidance from Allah. Anything that's wrong is from me, but I'm happy for you to correct me. I'm happy for you to share your experiences in the comment section, okay guys? Before we go further, I want to tell you also, you can obviously buy my books. This is the older book I wrote in 2016. It's still a pretty good read. It reads more like a story, but gives you a very general gist of how to approach the Dubai real estate market. And this one, The Ultimate Guide to Dubai Real Estate, this is the more recent one, okay? Both available on Amazon. I highly recommend you get them. They're easy reads. They're not very thick. They're very, very easy to go through. Okay, guys, listen. So let's address this, okay? I know agents go through their peaks and troughs. They've sometimes making money, sometimes they're not making money. So I want to tell you guys, regardless of whether you're making money or you're not making money, I want to share with you, and I want to share with you the ability or the practice to keep your trust in God, keep your faith in Allah, and relax, okay? Let's address one thing first. Especially if you're a Muslim, then the belief makes you strong. It gives you that guidance. And one of the beliefs that we as Muslims have is the belief around provision, okay, or rizq as we call it, right? R-I-Z-K. You can, if you want to pronounce it in Arabic, rizq, or your provision, meaning how much you're going to get in this life, your money, the provisions, the goodness, the khair, everything that's going to come to you is preordained. That's part of a Muslim's belief, right? So everything that's coming to you is preordained, is pre-written. So the belief around that is that which is going to come to you of the money, the income, the earnings, the salary, or the commissions, it's going to come to you. That money is going to come to you. So you've got to, if you've got that belief, then and know that that's going to find you, just like death is going to find you. Just like it's a certainty that death comes to everybody, it is a certainty that your provision, your monies that are meant to come to you, is due to you, shall come to you. So what should you do? First of all, relax about it, okay? Do not stress about it, because stress causes more problems, right? It's unnecessary. If it's meant to come to you, it's coming to you. Relax. Don't worry too much about it. People tend to worry too much. They get tied down into the nitty-gritty. This client is not speaking to me. That client was just about to buy this property and now he's not bought this property. That client, he sold the property through another agent. Relax. There's another one coming. There's another one coming. And then there's another one coming. Obviously, and you've seen this happen, right? Especially if you believe that money is meant to come to you, it's going to come to you. What's meant to come to you is going to come to you. Then sometimes you've also seen that sometimes you might be busy, or you might have just taken a vacation and you come back into town and immediately you close a deal and money comes to you. That money was written. It's going to come to you anyways, okay? Now, of course, you do your part. Okay. Now, while you believe in risk and you believe in provision and that it's ordained for you, it's destined for you, it's going to come to you, you still got to tie the camel. Okay. There's a famous hadith of the Prophet ﷺ where a Bedouin man came to see him, or one of the companions, if I correct myself, came to see him, and then the camel was left untied. Okay. So he left the camel untied. So when it was asked about the camel, he said, I leave it in the trust of God. Okay, I leave it trusting that God, Allah, will keep the camel safe. The camel's not going to run away. So what did the Prophet ﷺ advise him? The Prophet told him, don't go and tie your camel. Tie your camel, which means you tie the camel and then you put your trust in God. Okay, which means what? You still do your part. Okay, which means you still go on your lead generation spree. You still go out and meet people. You still go out and get listings. You still go out and list those properties. You still go out and make those calls. You still go out and try to explain projects to potential buyers and so on and so forth. Okay, so comes from a belief that your risk is written. Still do your part, but don't stress about it. Money meant for you is coming for you anyways. So that's one. Number two, guys, listen. When you're as agent putting your trust in Allah, please also comes from a belief perspective of trying to earn halal income. Now, for the non-Muslims who might be watching this, you might think, halal? What does halal mean? You've only heard of the word halal with respect to food, right? Just like Jews have kosher, Muslims eat halal, and halal follows certain guidelines. It should be good. It should be a certain animal. Like, Muslims don't eat pork and pig and so on and so forth. So you're probably thinking like halal income. What does that mean? Like, you've only heard about halal food, right? Okay. Halal income refers to income that is derived or earned in a good, wholesome way. Okay, so Muslims don't gamble, they don't sell alcohol, so on and so forth. So that's a given situation, right? But on the other side, they also don't lie, right? So when you're putting your trust in Allah, then trust that you don't have to lie to sell a property. I remember many years ago, more than 10 years ago, my father gave me advice and he said, Fahd, don't ever please lie to sell a property. Like, if I was to ever hold up somebody who I know close to me, who's worked and earned his income in a very honest way, it would be my father, right? I've seen him do this. He worked with the Dubai government for 28 years. Never seen the man lie. Like, may Allah bless him. That's not to say that I'm a perfect picture of him, because obviously I fall short in a lot of ways, but he gave me this advice and he said, never lie. Now, in the beginning, maybe I never understood what he was saying, or I didn't pay a lot of attention to him. Obviously, it's our basic values not to lie, but perhaps I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. But I'm going to share this with agents today, okay? Guys, you don't need to lie to sell a property, okay? Now, I'm going to explain this to you. Let's say you enter a building, and you know that this gentleman wants a new building or a good building. Everybody wants a good property, right? If they ask you how old that building is, you don't need to tell them that it's only 2 years old when you know that it's 7 years old. You don't need to do that. Absolutely not. Why? Because telling them it's 2 years old does not make the sale or break the sale. But if you do sell by lying, then, from a wholesome perspective, I'm not going to say Islamic perspective, because as I said, I'm not a scholar, but from a wholesome perspective, you actually lied to make that sale, right? So you don't need to. How do you address this? If the building is 7 years old, but it's not got the wear and tear of a building that's 7 years old, tell the truth. Tell them it's 7 years old, but it's very well maintained, as you can obviously see. Look at the elevators. They're brand spanking new, or at least they look new. Let's go visit the gym and the pool. It looks pretty nice. Look at the corridors, the hallways where all the apartments are. Can you smell? There's no smell. Everything's nice. Look at the ceilings. The false ceilings all good. Okay, even if it's 7 years old, it's still good, which means if you end up buying a building, in an apartment in a building that's 2 years old, but does not specify and build to this construction quality, that building at year 5 is going to look worse than year 7, whereas this one that's been taken care of, that's been a lot of money has been invested already, and is showing goodness at year 7, is going to go on most likely at year 10 and 12 and 15 and so on and so forth to still be wholesome and nice. I hope that makes sense, right? Okay. So from a belief system, your risk and your provisions coming to you. Chill, man. Relax. Don't stress about it. Do your part. Do your part. From a halal, good income earning perspective, don't lie. And then, of course, you can expand that to other things like don't lie, don't cheat other agents, don't cheat other buyers, don't cheat other sellers. Like, come on, guys. Like, I've got people who call sellers and then they tell them, I've got an offer at this price, at a lower price, and so on and so forth. Try avoiding it, okay? This is a reminder for myself and for you guys. Number 3, take breaks, okay? Breaks are meant to actually revive you, rejuvenate you. Now, if you're a Muslim, you're ordained to pray 5 times a day, right? So the first prayer, Fajr, early on in the morning. You probably not started working at that time. Some of you might have actually. And then Isha, which is the last prayer of the night. You're probably not working at that time as well. But you've got 3 prayers in the middle. You've got Dhuhr, Asr, and Maghrib, right? Guys, take your breaks. Okay? Agents generally work long hours. I'm not expounding. I'm not like encouraging long hours. But let's even say you're working till 6 p.m., which would mean that you've got Dhuhr and Asr come in the middle. You're obviously going to take a lunch break, but why not take a mid-afternoon break for Asr as well? You go out there, you wash yourself up for wudu, you get freshened up, you pray, you connect to your creator. Now, I'll tell you, somebody who was not Muslim said this to me. They said, this is amazing that in Dubai, you've got this situation where your environment is built up for you to take breaks, right? Because you hear the call to prayer. You can go into the mosque, okay, the masjid. Masjid is a serene, quiet place, right? And then you take that break and disconnect from the world, okay, and connect to the creator, which is good. And this person who was a non-Muslim was saying like, wow, that's amazing, because you've got this system built around where you can just take a break. Like, imagine if you were walking in the street of London and you wanted to take a break from the work that you had. Like, where would you go? Like, you probably have to go out for a smoke. And I think that's one of the reasons people do that, right? They go out for a smoke, they want to freshen up, and obviously it does freshen you up. So look, you've got the 5 prayer breaks. If you're not Muslim and you're not praying in the mosque, fine, no worries, still take a break, guys. Disconnect. I've got to tell you guys something, and for the Muslims, like I'm gonna let me share this point and then I'll come back to what I want to share with you guys. I've seen this happen a lot of times when agents are down and they're not getting deals, and I do this as well. They will sit and read Quran. Okay, Quran now is in the Arabic language, and almost all Muslims can read the Quran. Even if they can't speak or understand Arabic, they can sit and read the Quran, and you'll see them reading this. And I encourage this to myself, to my agents, and I've seen agents do this as well. Guys, you've got to understand something. What happens, one of the reasons, obviously, when you sit and you read Quran, you're remembering God, you're getting rewards for that. Okay, I don't want to get into the rewards part because, you know, I'm not a Muslim scholar, so I don't want to talk a lot about that which I'm not very knowledgeable about. But I do know from the other, one of the other benefits that you also get when you're reading the Quran is that you are disconnecting from all the negativity around you, right? So if you've not done a deal in the last 2-3 months, and now you're hanging around with other friends of yours who've not done a deal in the last 2-3 months, you know, a lot of negativity brews a lot more negativity, and then it continues. Now, let's say everybody else in the office has done a deal every month, and you're the only one who's not done a deal in the last 2 months. Fine, no problem. So you'd be like, okay, I don't have negative friends around me, but guess what? You've got sometimes negative thoughts with you, right? So you've got these perpetually overemphasizing negative thoughts that keep going and on and on and on and on. And not only are you not closing deals, but these negative thoughts keep telling you, like, look, one more day, you've not done this, like, what's going on? You've got to do this deal. And that it just perpetuates. So when you take a break out, you're taking the regular break for the regular prayers, right? But when you go a little bit further and sit and just read the Quran, just peaceful, just bring your mind, quiet your mind down, right? For the non-Muslims, it would be meditation, right? You know, you quiet your mind down, go to a cave if you want to in Sri Lanka and just quiet your mind down, get away from the city, right? Right, Sangha? Okay, bless you. Now, last part, okay? Guys, look, so we talked about risk and provision. Okay, it's coming to you guys. Relax, chill, do your part. Seek to earn good income, halal income. Try not to lie, try not to cheat. Take breaks. And last but not the least, think positively. Guys, think positively, okay? I'm going to paraphrase a hadith where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I am to my slave as he thinks of me, or as he thinks I am, which means if you think well of Allah, if you think God will take care of you, if you think your provision's coming, if you expect good, good is coming to you, right? So break this cycle of being negative around your experiences. Break this cycle of continuously or perpetually living in the past, okay? The past is done, no longer exists. Should not have any bearing on you. But a lot of times, we take our past and take it into the future or the present with us. And I'll give you my personal example, okay? Every single deal I used to do many years ago used to be complicated, okay? And I think it was me, myself, telling myself that if a deal's not complicated, I've not really enjoyed it. I've not really done any work. And this commission is not really deserved. So every deal would be complicated. So much so that when a deal would come to me in more recent times, I would look for what the complication might be. Now, it's okay for you to assess the risks and see whether this is going to be problematic at a later stage and address those risks. But for you to perpetually think about it negatively is just going to attract more negativity, okay? So I just started asking God, like, oh Allah, please allow all my deals to happen in the smoothest way possible, in the most efficient way possible, where I get my commissions, my agency fees, and everybody gets them with ease, super fast, okay? No problems, no difficulties. And of course, if the problems come, we solve them, we figure them out. But what we don't do is try our best, and I'm reminding myself and you, to not wallow and perpetually stay in the past and keep thinking about how things might go wrong because it went wrong with that old deal. All right, guys, listen, let's wrap this up. Now, if you do want, this is more like a storybook, okay? It was written in 2016, easier to read. This is more in-depth analysis on the Dubai real estate market. Both are fairly good. Obviously, this one's better because it's the second book. Generally speaking, people do get better as they write more books, just like you get better with more deals that you write. Again, guys, there is a link below if you'd like to purchase a property with us. You can click it, fill up the form, attend a webinar or a Zoom call with me. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. And obviously, if you got comments where you might agree or disagree with me, I'd love you to put them in the comment section. Me and my team read your comments. I actually answer them. My team answers them sometimes, but sometimes I answer them myself. And sometimes we'll take your comments and develop a video response to it. All right, guys? Guys, okay, go out there, put your trust in Allah, relax, chill, do the right thing, take breaks, and obviously think well and think positive. Bye for now.